What's happening, fam? This is Joe of Vapes coming at you with another review. Today I'm going to be talking about a Northwest company. So I'm in Oregon. These guys are in Washington. They pretty much cover the entire Northwest, Southern Oregon, Northern Washington, and man, they do some awesome work for advocacy. Artist Liquids is what we're talking about today. If you've never heard of these guys, definitely check them out. If you care anything about advocacy, these are the guys to talk to, man. Now they work with a company. Actually, they have another brand called Cloud Comps Northwest, and you can find these guys online. Got my cheat sheet here at northwestvape.com. You'll find out any information you need to on Artist Liquids as well as Cloud Comps Northwest. Incidentally, I'm going to be doing a review for Cloud Comps Northwest here coming up pretty soon. That is going to be the really big company that's really involved with the majority of vape advocacy, especially, like I said, around the greater Washington state area. But let's get into these. So first of all, why Artist Liquids? Well, these flavors inside this box were all supported and pretty much promoted by certain artists around the greater Northwest area, rap artists, and some people affiliated in the vape industry itself. So now we've seen companies like that a little bit before, where a lot of people have pretty much put some of their brilliance and just flavor, if you will, into the flavors of the e-juice. But we're gonna break these guys down. First of all, cotton cookies is the very first flavor. Okay, this is in the fatty 60 milliliter. Now, all of these flavors here, I'm just going to give you kind of a quick little view, are high VG. This one in particular is 3070, which makes it, like I say, a dripper's dream. Pretty good stuff. Now, I've dripped and sub-ohmed each and every one of these. Typically, as you can see, I always go for my Vengeance sub-ohms because I think they give really good flavor, but these aren't the only ones that I use, so I'm going to start swapping these out a little bit. I know you guys are probably getting sick and tired of seeing the same old things, but anyways, I digress. Cotton cookies is a really brilliantly good flavor. Now, you guys know that I dig my desserts, so this is kind of a combination between a candy and a dessert. Once upon a time, I really hated all the candy flavors, but I'm seeing in the industry, just a lot of good quality experience and flavor, and basically just desire to come out with a quality product are being put in better tasting and better steeped and just better quality ingredients within the United States and stuff like that. So I'm loving a lot more of the candy type flavors coming out. This one in particular is a sweet, creamy cotton candy wrapped around an awesome coconut macaroon cookie. Let me tell you guys, this stuff tastes about as good as it sounds, okay? The subtleties and the layers and flavor, solid quality that goes into each and every one of these flavors. And I mean, you can tell the indiscriminate and individuals between each and every one, okay? If you guys have never had a macaroon cookie, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I shouldn't have to be dragging you across the finish line on each and every one of these, but the profile and the consistency is absolutely top notch. 5 out of 5 on this one, bar none. I mean, they absolutely nailed it on it. Okay, so the cotton candy comes out really sweet, and like I said, it does have kind of that creamy consistency. I don't know if you get that when you eat typical cotton candy, but it definitely is in this. And the one thing I love about this stuff is that the flavor is pretty light, but not too light. It's just very unassuming, let's put it that way. So on the first hit, it's just, a nice, airy, sweet cotton candy, but you also get that coconut macaroon just midlined, not too above, not too below. So it definitely comes up on the back end with just kind of a nice, creamy finish, dissipates on the exhale. Perfect stuff. And of course, like I said, you can drip the heck out of this. Now, you get yourself some good, fresh, nice coils. Claptons are basically what I would suggest in this. If you can't get yourself some Claptons, go on to northwestvape.com. They will hook you up with a great set of coils built, of course, locally in the Northwest. And I'm not going to get too deep into that because I really want to dig into all that kind of stuff on the Cloud Comps Northwest review. So just going to give you a subtle little taste of Artist Liquids. Going to go to the next flavor here. Let me sift through my box here. And this one is the milk edition of their flavors here. This one is, well, milk, black edition, I should say. Some edits I leave in, some I take out, man. I am a human, what can I say? But this one is really tasty, okay? So if any of you guys love a good maple flavor, you're gonna dig this one. This one goes right to my heart. a solid milk and maple bar flavor. So the only one I will say about the black edition from the milk line is it's kind of light for me. You know, I expect a really solid, deep, earthy, rich maple bar flavor, and this one it was good baseline. It was just right down the middle, so it definitely delivered the flavor. Now you open this stuff up and take a good whiff. It smells really, really potent, okay? It just kind of gets you right here, you know what I mean? It gets you salivating, wanting to take a bite of a big, awesome maple bar. So the flavor wasn't really strong, but I can't knock it at all because it was definitely present. It was totally all the way there. The indiscriminate flavors, the milk you could really taste, which was really cool because it kind of cooled down the sensation of a heavy maple, which I think is basically what I was experiencing here. So high VG on this one again. Drip it, sub-ohma, have some fun with it. Play around with certain temperatures, play around with certain coils. If you're a coil builder, definitely dig into this stuff. You're going to get a really good experience from it, guaranteed. So Red Label is the other flavor from the milk line of the Artist Liquids. This one was one of my favorite, okay? It's a shortbread Neapolitan ice cream milkshake with whipped cream. Absolutely as good as it sounds. Like I said, folks, this stuff is really, really good. High VG once again. So you taste in kind of a combination between vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. Definitely not too heavy anywhere in there. Solid levels and flavors. So the profile and the consistency, top notch. Other thing I want to mention on this stuff, obviously, because it's high VG pretty much across the board, you're getting solid cloud production. So this is one of the flavors that I'm going to get to. Solid on the cloud production, folks. And this is just a little bitty, 3-5 milliliter tank here. But you're getting solid flavor on top of the cloud production. Now, throat hit is pretty much a 0 on all of these. Now, this is 3 milligrams, and I know what you're saying, pretty much, anywhere between the 6 to 12 milligrams, you're getting a solid throat hit. But this stuff, man, I've tasted 2 milligram nicotine equivalencies, and this stuff burnt your throat. I could take like a 2 or 3 second hit on that stuff, and it felt like I was coughing all day, but not with this. So you got a really good nicotine additive into this. Really solid blend, so the flavors match and mingle and pair really well with pretty much anything, okay? Now, one of the things that I love to do is to drink, I know this sounds kind of strange, but I drink a nice black coffee or really weak sun tea with a lot of these flavors. And I think what I pick up from that is more of kind of a natural taste. So in the morning or in the evening, sometimes I like a decaf coffee in the evening. In the morning, obviously, I got to have my coffee, my black cup of coffee with me to wake up. But the sort of kind of recalibrate your taste buds, and it's a really good way between that and tea, a really good natural way to elevate the taste buds. And it's kind of the same principle like when you go to a perfume shop, they got that little container of coffee beans, you sniff the coffee beans, kind of just reset your olfactory senses. Well, it does the same thing to your taste buds. I like to do that when I try new e-juice for review, and it really set the flavor quality on all of this stuff. Now, you don't have to obviously drink tea or coffee when you're vaping, but if you want to get a really solid vape experience, especially if you're like me, you hit up the desserts so often, eventually your tongue just shuts off on it. You know what I mean? You got to try something different, switch it up. Artist Liquids does a really, really solid job of putting a lot of care and attention into the product. Okay, 100% American made, no steeping necessary on this stuff. I don't even think that they steep it, to be honest with you. There's little indiscriminate details I didn't get. That's one of them, obviously, but high VG once again. So throat hit, like I said, is going to be a 0. Now, the sweet factor so far in all 3 of these that I've shown you is definitely a 5 out of 5. It really will show when you come into giving this stuff a try. So nectar is the next flavor. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit there. I got my lights. It's definitely not on a soft level, but the nectar is really good. This one was a Hawaiian fruit and Greek yogurt. So Greek yogurt typically has kind of that tart, little bit of a subtle sweet flavor, but definitely a deep cream to it, mixed up with a good tropical fruit flavor. You're getting a really solid sort of a tropical fruit salad. Okay, I'm tasting guava, maybe a little bit of mango. I'm definitely tasting some melon in there, as well as some other flavors. I found it was a very decent palate cleanser, mixing up between a lot of the deeper stuff that I typically like to vape just recreationally. But every now and then I get something as quality as the Artist Liquids, and you know, I get an experience with palate cleansing and just something I like vaping throughout the day. So that was definitely a bonus on that one. You guys are going to dig it if you're the fruit-loving vapors. Give the nectar a try. So Mind Travel is actually the last one, and probably one of the most shocking ones for me. That's the one that I'm hitting here on my heavy hitter here. This one is a sweet and sour apple bubble gum. So those are that's a really interesting combination. So I actually had the chance to talk one-on-one and have been in contact with Chuck Wilder. He is basically the marketing and sales manager of Artist Liquids, Cloud Comps Northwest. The dude really knows his stuff. And he was explaining to me just a lot of the mission that they have behind the brand and the label, what these guys do, and you know, just a lot of the interest and the heart and soul that they put in their flavors. One of the things that we both agreed on, especially when the Mind Travel, is the sweet and sour flavor. So sweet and sour is a flavor that is especially the sour end, is hard to convey properly through an e-juice. It's an interesting flavor additive. It's not necessarily a flavor in itself. So you can take pretty much anything and make it sour. Sweet on its own has to do a lot with the sweetener and basically to the natural flavors of whatever flavor additive you're going to put in your e-juice, whether it be PG, VG, a combination of the two, whatever. So if you can kind of swim through that description, you're really, you know, just take my word for it. If you like sweet and sour anything, you're going to love the Mind Travel. It has a solid sweet flavor on the inhale, a good apple taste all the way around, and then just the exhale is really perfect. So a nice solid binary vape and a good experience as far as the sweet and sour is concerned. Not one over the top from the other. So bringing this all to a close, Artist Liquids is a very solid representative of the vape community, especially for the great Pacific Northwest, which I love. This is a company that supports the community in a good way by creating quality product and then taking tons of their revenue and putting it directly into vape advocacy, working with organizations. They plan a ton of events to make sure that all of the money is going right where their mouth is. You know, it's going towards solid vape advocacy. Check these guys out, Artist Liquids on Instagram, and check out northwestvape.com. That's their main website, shows all their lines that they have, including the elusive Cloud Comps Northwest that I've been talking about, and I will get into that on another review. So if any of you guys have any questions or comments, you've tried anything by Artist Liquids before, definitely slam it in the comment section below. If you dug this review, click on that like button, man. That gets me going throughout the day, you know what I mean? I love seeing new subs and I love seeing new likes. So spread the word here, Joe of All Vapes on YouTube. Check me out on my Instagram page, Joe of All Vapes. Please get in contact with me if you'd like to discuss something, you got something you want to promo. Definitely give me an EM or slam me an email and I will get back to you post-haste as best as I can. I hope everybody out there had an amazing Christmas and a wonderful new year. So got some brand new things coming up that I'm going to discuss coming up here pretty soon in the future. Check out some of my live streams. Going to be doing some more of that coming up here in the near future as well. Awesome stuff that I cannot wait to divulge all of you guys. So this is Joe of All Vapes, your eye in the vaping sky, wishing you to stay humble. Love yourselves, love each other, and you keep it cloudy.